Wait. Cult Film School Podcast. This is episode 1, the introductory episode.
And it's already off to a great start.
This is, let's call this take 1 officially.
Take 1 of 52. Yeah, so we're making a podcast, and we're calling it Cult Film School. And what else do we want the good people to know about Cult Film School, Dion?
I think we want to tell them who in the hell we are.
Well, I just said you're Dion.
Okay, so. Yeah, say, hey, my name is Dion, and I'll be one of your co-hosts and guides on this journey into the unknown, and the known, that we're going to call Cult Film School. And I'll be joined by the person you've just heard, my co-host, Adrian. Adrian.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, so why did we start this podcast? There's a lot of movie podcasts out there. There's a lot of, I would say, people talking about cult movies in a way. So what's special about this one, Dion?
I have to be optimistic here and say there's something special about this one, so I'm going to put on my hat and do some work. Realistically, what we're going to do, is done, I suppose. Like, we're not reinventing the wheel. This is another podcast about film. But
Dion, is this a film school? Is this an educational podcast?
Oh Lord, no. Well, wait.
Are we going to be hearing lectures about films?
No. You're not going to get credit. We're not going to take attendance. Maybe we're going to ask you to do some homework. Otherwise, some of these movies, you're going to get spoiled for you. But quite honestly, and this is one of the things that Adrian and I talked about when we first started talking about doing a podcast, I am one of those, I guess both of us are kind of like perpetual students. Some might call me a professional student.
Well, you're an academic.
Yeah.
You're an academic. I would call you I
won't fight you on that.
Have you taught film courses?
I have
at a post-secondary educational level.
Okay, yeah, guilty, yeah. But, so here's the thing,
Academic.
though. Okay, I'm not going to fight you on it. Even though I've taught courses on film, I'm still learning. And so I actually wanted to use this podcast as a venue for me to learn more about cult film, even if I am a fan from the way back.
Yeah, see, here's the thing I like about Dion. So Dion, you're a total film geek nerd, just as I am, but you have the academic bona fide. Actually, like the way we met is through film school, basically, right? So you were teaching film courses, you were teaching the horror course and the science fiction course, and I was like a student of yours.
So why is this Cult Film School? This is the extension. We are no longer a teacher and student. We have left that relationship. We are now friends. However, this, in a weird way, in the podcast way, we're sticking to what brought us to the dance, talking about cult films.
Why?
If, in a fever dream, if I had to go to a film school, there are some kinds of films that I happen to watch for leisure that don't get discussed. I was going to say studied, but even just talked about in the halls of the academy. And so I thought it would be kind of cool to offer a venue to talk about films that we might be passionate about that don't usually get the formal time of day.
Yeah, totally. So we're talking about cult films. That is to say, these are not mainstream films, or what one might this is not the podcast that talks about, fucking the new Avatar movie, let's say. So there are cult films out there that people know about, right? That are even famous, maybe more famous than big studio films, right? Like the Rocky Horror Picture Show, say. But we go deeper than that. This podcast is going to go deeper than that. This is not your daddy's cult film podcast.
Yeah, no, I can't help myself when it comes to talking about films.
Well, that's the thing. We're going to talk about these things anyway. So why not make a podcast about it? Why not introduce these films to people?
I don't know. Why not? Why don't we do it?
Let's do it.
And let's call it Cult Film School.
And let's record it, like
Yeah.
right now.
And then once you've heard it, you can come on back and keep listening, because here's the honest truth about Adrian and I and our film relationship. We might have met as teacher and student, but very quickly we kind of bonded over our love of horror films. One could call them classic horror films. And that relationship has kind of developed and fostered over, I don't know what it's been, like a decade, give or take.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, so why should people like listen? Okay, like there's like a zillion movie podcasts of like, you know, two white dudes talking about movies. Like, what is this podcast offering?
We're going to line up double bills for each of these episodes. If there is any homework to be had, it might be to watch one of these films or both of them before you tune in, or when you begin tuning in, whoa, wait a minute, I haven't seen blank, or I've seen this a million times, I love it, I want to hear about it. The plan is episodes twice a month, every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks, yeah, we're gonna do a double bill. So we'll be watching two films, and each episode, the two films that we talk about will have a thematic connection that we'll be discussing.
Definitely, like, stay tuned. If this has piqued your interest at all, please subscribe. Otherwise, check us out again when we drop our next episode in T-minus, what are we looking at? 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. But yeah, we're not just talking about horror films. We're talking about all genres from different eras too. Early Hollywood, modern, some world cinema out there too.
We just want to welcome you to take this journey with us. Yeah, I mean, thanks for listening. And definitely stop on by, subscribe, come on back when we drop our next episode. I think it'll be a lot more fun with you than without.
I agree. But yeah, no, it'll be I think it'll be fun. People have always said you definitely have a good voice for radio, and people have said for many years that I have a good face for radio. So let's do this thing. Let's get going. I'm ready.
That was a joke.
Which?
Touche. Yeah, no, so thank you. Come on.
Please subscribe. Come on down.
Come on back.
Hear us out. Check us out. And we're going to talk some movies.
I love movies.
There you go. Class dismissed. Thanks for listening to this episode of Cult Film School, and thanks as well to our producer, Alyssa. Don't forget to leave a rating and review for the show, and subscribe to the podcast to be the first to know when the next episode drops.
Follow us on Instagram and Letterboxd at Cult Film School, and reach out with opinions on the films we covered in today's show and ideas for cult films we might cover in future episodes at cultfilmschoolpodcast@gmail.com. See you next time. Class dismissed.